Guys, we've talked before, and I will tell you that I am so excited. I went back and watched our interviews in the past, and I was like, I got to get some good questions in there that I didn't get to bring up in the first interview. So I'm going to ask this. Ralph, I'm going to start with you. Do you remember the audition for Karate Kid?
I do very well. It can be seen on YouTube. John Avildsen, our director of the original film, put my audition and Pat Morita's audition, and he cut them together. So I remember that day as if it was yesterday, walking into his apartment, seeing the Academy Award for Rocky. He won his Best Director, and passing that by and sitting down, and John had a big video, a 1980s video camera, and had it on me the whole time and explained the role, and we read a scene, and that scene could be seen by everybody now. So it's kind of interesting to look back, because when I watched the audition, you see LaRusso. It's not like, then I found it later. It was a lot of what was there, the honesty of what was there amid my nervousness turned out to be the base of who this guy was. And here we are still walking in those shoes.
William, same question for you. Do you remember the audition for the Karate Kid films?
I remember it like it was yesterday, yes. My first audition, I walked in and there was a whole room full of Johnny Lawrences auditioning, and the energy of the Johnny Lawrences, everybody was in character, literally pushed me out of the room and into my dad's 1970s Volvo, and I had to hide in the car because it was just too intense. It was like, I used to do commercials, so all the commercial interviews, everybody was like, hey, nice to see you. I thought I saw you in the Pepsi thing. This was a room full of Johnny Lawrences, and I hid in the car and cranked my radio, and they came out and called me in and walked in, and there's John Avildsen, who I knew directed Rocky, and he was just such a sweet, tender man, and very mild-mannered, and had his video camera up, and I think he talked to me like this the whole time. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I did my interview for him, and I think I grabbed him out of the chair, and then I walked out, closed the door, took my headband off, came in, and he kind of looked at me a little seriously. He said, now, how old are you? And you're a little taller than our guy who's playing Daniel LaRusso, and I said, well, Bruce Lee was smaller than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and he beat him. And he goes, you got a good point there. That was my first meeting, and then I had a series of callbacks. But I remember it vividly. I could actually, I remember it like it was yesterday.
How we doing, everyone?
Doing good. Awesome.
How about you?
It's great to see everyone. I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for asking. We've talked, over the seasons. I feel like I've grown up with you in that sense. Of course, you did all the heavy lifting. I just had to watch, and I would ask you a few questions. So I went back and I watched our interviews, and I decided for today I'm going to do some different types of questions. So Xolo, I'm going to start with you, and everybody's going to get the question. We're going to go down the line. How has your life changed since becoming a part of Cobra Kai?
Ooh, let's see. My hips and knees are a whole lot more flexible than they used to be before this. I only played tennis before doing the show, so I'd say in those regards, my hips are nicer.
I thought you were going to say they're more sore now, but that was a good answer. Jacob, same question for you. How has your life changed since becoming a part of Cobra Kai?
I think I've gained more confidence. I think sometimes I walk around thinking I still have the mohawk on. Because, dude, when I have the mohawk, I'm like 6'5". It's awesome. No, I mean, it's been really good. I've made a lot of new friends. And, yeah, I don't know. It's been really fun. I'm very happy with where I'm at right now.
Awesome. Gianni, you're up next, man. Talk to me.
Oh, man. Hey, it's been crazy. Going into season 1, I did not think it would be the way it is now, And yeah, it's awesome working with these guys for the most part, They're okay. No, I love everyone. Yeah, it's just been great. This has been a fun ride, and I'm really grateful for the opportunity. It's been awesome.
Gentlemen, how are we doing today?
Fantastic.
Great. Thanks.
I just want to take this in. If you both realize, I mean, Karate Kid was my childhood. This is side. So I feel like I won a contest and I get to speak with you all today. This is just the biggest thrill for me. But Thomas, I will tell you that Terry Silver just scares the you-know-what out of me, just as always has. And Yuji Chosen is the guy that I want. if I have to go defend myself, that's who I want to take with me. I'll take Terry too once we become good friends.
Nice.
All right, Thomas, I'm going to start with you. Tell me about when you first got the call that this character was coming back, returning as Terry Silver. I want to know that.
It's funny, Dave, because literally I'd heard they're doing a series on the Karate Kid movies, and it was on YouTube, and I said, oh, this is going to be a train wreck, but I have to tune in and watch the first 2 seasons on YouTube. I said, this is so fantastic. It's funny, it's irreverent, it's heartfelt. And the God's honest truth, I never thought Terry was going to fit into that world. I thought they had their, between Billy and Ralph, and it was so smart what they did. And then around season 3, the rumors started. And then they asked to use a clip from me from the movie. And it's like, are we going down this path? And even then it's like, to go back and do this archetypal over the top character, it really didn't interest me. It was like, hey, it's fun. And then when I got the phone call from the creators, they were like, oh no, we have this whole story mapped out. And then when they pitched it to me, it was like, oh, this is gold. I'd be an idiot not to do this, So that's how it worked out. And then I jumped at it. I'm so happy I did.
So Dallas, my first question for you is, have you actually seen the original Karate Kid movies?
Yes, I've actually seen the original Karate Kid movies. I've only seen Karate Kid 1, if I'm going to be honest. I need to see the other ones. But I know, I should watch the other ones. But I remember watching the first one about, I think 2 years ago. I was just on the plane. I decided to download it on iTunes. And I was like, just watch it, just to see how it is. And I loved every single second of it. Next thing you know, got the opportunity for Cobra Kai. And then, the rest is history.
Oona, I'm going to ask you, what do your friends and family think about you being a part of Cobra Kai? Truly one of the biggest series on television right now.
Oh, it's crazy. My friends are so supportive, but I mean, at the same time, they don't really care. All they really want to know is how Peyton List is doing. So,
I want to add a second part to your question, Mary. The enthusiasm, the wow moment, the excitement that you still get being a part of Cobra Kai, but also how your life has changed.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely say in terms of my life changing, I'm not terrified of exercise now. I used to I would run from a treadmill instead of on it, and now I'm, fine with the idea of I don't know, getting super buff.
I was like, I don't see any of us getting on the treadmill.
No. But I will say though that's been a huge change for me. Genuinely, is my embracing of the world of martial arts and what we do on the show and getting to kind of adapt that into my real life. And then as for the wow factor of being a part of Cobra Kai, it does not wear off. It does not get less bizarre and crazy every time that I get to have one of these really cool moments. I'm still doing the pinch me thing.
Love it. Peyton, how has your life changed from being a part of Cobra Kai? And really, how physical are these roles?
I mean, everything that the characters are doing, we are taught and we go over it with our stunt doubles. And, we are expected to do. I thought we were really going to take a back seat. When I came on, I did not expect to have to do it all. I thought our stunt doubles would just take the lead, which they definitely do, but we have had to learn it all. And my life has changed so much because of that. And just from meeting these guys and from being a part of the Karate Kid world and those fans kind of accepting the characters, and it's really changed.
Awesome. All right, Ralph, I have to get this in. I've revisited all the Karate Kid movies. Obviously, grew up watching this, big part of my life, but they're playing all the time now. Do you actually sit and rewatch them when they come on? I know a lot of actors and actresses I've talked to say, I don't watch my stuff, like that. But I'm curious, do you?
It matters which one of those three you're talking about. There are times if the original Karate Kid is on, or someone says, "Hey, look, Karate Kid's on," whatever. If it's a certain scene that I have a memory of a day, if it was something special that happened, or a moment with Pat Morita in rehearsal, thinking back of John Avildsen directing, or the fight at the fence and that long night in the skeletons, I'll sit and watch, take a moment, and just take that in because it still resonates. It's work. Sometimes I just marvel at how it has stood the test of time. And sometimes I can very simply see that, and other times it's beyond mind-blowing. But there are certain elements, and when I move on to, say, Karate Kid Part 3, where I felt didn't have as much of that magic, although is paying big dividends in Cobra Kai right now, beyond expectations. I might, I don't know if I turned it off, but I don't know how long I'd hang out in the room at that point. But it's amazing. I talk about with Terry Silver and Chosen and all these characters coming back in the Cobra Kai series, and how they are enhanced and the stories are enhanced and the actors are bringing such great depth to these roles that never say never. You never know, man. And it's just been amazing. It's been a thrill.
All right, Griffin, what is your wow moment being a part of this? I mean, the characters are just legendary. I grew up watching Karate Kid, okay? So when I knew Cobra Kai was coming around, I'm just like, this is so awesome. And I'm just watching it. You're actually in it. So Griffin, what is your wow moment of being a part of Cobra Kai?
I would say my wow moment, or specifically my one from season 1, would be when it was like my second day, and I asked like Ralph Macchio, it was like the second day I knew him, I asked him how they did the catching the fly with the chopsticks. And then I got like a whole 20-minute conversation just of Ralph Macchio teaching me how they did that scene. And I think that was like my first big wow moment.
All right, I'm intrigued. We don't have 20 minutes, but can you summarize it? I want to know, how did they do it? Now I want to know.
Well, because I was like 12, so I assumed it was like CGI, but this was before it was CGI could do that. So there was he told me there were like different, like a ton of different ways. They tried to like reverse it, where he like had the fly originally and then he let go and he tried to do it in reverse. And then he did one where like someone would catch a fly and tie it to a string, and then he'd grab the string and pretend to grab the fly. Like he had like 8 different ways they tried to do it. But of course I was like, was it CGI?
That is actually a great answer. I love that. Dallas, what surprised you most about being, a part of Cobra Kai? Is the physicality at it? Is it seeing Ralph and William? I mean, again, legends. Hello. What was most surprising to you?
I believe what was most surprising to me was honestly the physical aspect of Cobra Kai. For a while, I honestly thought that the stunt doubles were doing most of the work. And then next thing you know, I had a conversation with Don Lee and Kim Bearfield, and they pretty much gave me the outline of my storyline and everything was going to happen. I was like, oh, I'm actually going to do most of the fighting. I didn't expect that. But I think the physicality of the show, and then also getting to work with some of the greatest actors that I've ever personally seen.
Oona, do you binge Cobra Kai when it comes out like the rest of us?
Of course. Yes. When it drops, I'm logging in right at the drop time and then binging straight through.
I literally screamed when both your characters, Terry and Chosen, when I was like, no freaking way, when I saw you both appear in Cobra Kai. So Yuji, I want to ask, when you got the call that said that Chosen was coming back to this, I want to know what your reaction was. What were you thinking?
Well, man, it was incredible. Who would have thought after 30 odd years that I would be reprising this character? I got a call from the guys, and they were so passionate, and they knew more about Karate Kid 2 than I did. So it was an incredible conversation. We talked about, where the character's direction is going to be and everything. So I felt like I was in capable hands with their writing, and I watched the first season, and it was fantastic. I was hooked after that season, so I wanted to be part of that world, and so I was ecstatic when they did make the call.
That is just incredible. All right, Thomas, what is your wow moment? We could talk season 5 if you like, no spoilers, but your wow moment on set was what?
Season 4, walking on set for the first time, not having seen Ralph Macchio or Billy in literally 30 years. And the 3 of us just standing there, just smiling at each other, going, this is surreal. And I still think about it. It was just like, you can't believe we're doing this. And then this season, this guy comes back, and I'm going, oh, this is just, we are so blessed because so many shows from the past, try these things and don't work out. And we're a part of something so special, and everyone cares on it. It has, like I said, so much heart and humor. It was just an honor to be a part of.
I am just so thrilled to talk and meet with you both today. Seriously, I'm so geeking out. I just can't believe Terry Silver and Chosen are here. I'm talking to them right now. Guys, congratulations. Great work. It's so good to see you all. I say again, but you've been a part of my life for so long that's why. But obviously we just met. But seriously, thank you so much. I'm geeking out so hardcore right
Awesome,
now. This
Dave.
is great.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Dave.
All right, brother. Take care. Peace.